Guys, today Stamp It Sunday we are going to be using this gorgeous stamp by stampingbella.com, and this particular one is Uptown Girl, Vienna and her Vespa, and the code is EB223, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous stamp, really cute with the bike and everything. I think it's just a bit real kind of vintage feel to it, and I haven't used this yet. I thought I would save it and use it with you. So it comes like on the sheet and it's on the U-mount stuff. So it's a rubber stamp, but it's got the mount on it. I mean, to be honest, for me, I'm not too worried. I just use some adhesive and stick it on anyway, but it is nice if it's already done. And it also comes with the sentiment in life's too short, enjoy the ride. I'm not sure if we're going to use that or not, but we'll see. And the paper that I'm using today is for alcohol markers, and this particular one is the Pro Design, and it's 250 GSM. So because I'm going to be using my Copics and Pro markers, which are alcohol ink, we need to use our Memento dye ink. That's because obviously if you use the other sort, which is alcohol, you're going to start blending them, so we don't want to do that. So the Memento is really, I think, the best one for this. I really like it. So, and what I'm seeing on here is that they're beautifully fine lines, really fine artwork. And so just to make sure that we're really got plenty of ink on there. Okay, so then turn that up, position that way I need it to be, and then you can let it hover and then just press down, and then making sure that we press all the areas so that it's really stamped every single section of it, and then just release, and that has stamped beautifully straight out. What we're going to do is we're just going to let that dry for a few minutes, and then we'll move on to start colouring. So now I want to start creating my background. So what I did was I created a mask using a piece of vinyl that I had, and I just stamped and then I fussy cut it around, and we're just going to peel off the back of this, and then we're going to just check. Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to double check that it would peel off okay before I stuck it down. And then I'm going to stick this down. There we go. Just making sure that we line it up as pretty good as we can. So then what we've done is basically masked out that stamped area so that it's nice and protected from the airbrush, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be airbrushing. So I've picked out 3 colours, and I've got my B000 for the blue. I'm going to just do a little bit of blue, and then I've got G43 just to do a little bit of grass around here. Just I'm going to add some bits of grass anyway, and then I've got YR20 just to do a little bit of the ground. That's the theory. So we're going to start off with the sky, and we've got the Copic airbrush system here, so we're just going to do that. So we're going to start with it pointing kind of at her, and it then will kind of bounce off our mask. If you get closer, you get a more intense colour, so we're going to be more intense nearer to her. Okay, so I've got a little bit of sponge, and I'm just going to take my ink and I'm going to hold it onto the sponge and just draw onto that. Okay, we don't want it hugely strong, so, and then we're just going to, and actually I think this might work quite well for our grassy area. It'll look realistic, make it look nice having the second colour. And I'm going to use the YG13 just to brighten it up a bit, and it just gives it a bit of life. Okay, and then just gently, not doing too much because I don't want it to be crazy green. There we go. And now I want to do the YR20 for the ground. So I'm just going to colour that on. And then almost in a straightish line. A bit more. And then just rub it on. I think it's probably the best thing, actually. Making sure not to get the green. Oh, I can see what's happening. The ink's coming off my stencil there and rubbing onto the. Actually, I don't mind that. Quite like it. And then I'm going to take my G43 and I'm just going to do some flicks. Because then it won't go on our ground there. And then I want to take lost it. Oh yes, warm grey, so W1, and I'm just going to pull that around into it as well, just to make that colour just a little softer. And also that brings in the black where we got the faulty bit. Okay, and then I want to just go back with this green again. Just soften over that area, and that just softens that area, and hopefully that'll be okay. Then let's just peel our mask off, just carefully, because we don't want to rip the paper underneath. I'm not so worried about the mask, to be honest. Okay, so there it is all peeled off. I have to say it was a little bit fiddly, and it was a bit touch and go as to whether it was going to come off without ripping the paper. So I think I would want to come up with a better option than that next time. So now I just want to add some stickles, and I've got crystal ice. So I want to add that to her top, just in here. Okay, I think that looks really pretty. And then I want to do it on the headlamps here to give that a bit of a glisten, and then on her skirt, underskirt here. So I want that one quite thick, so it stays, well, not thick, but thicker, just so it stays looking a bit more ruffly, hopefully. Okay. And then a thin bit on here, just to give that a bit of shine. And on here, making sure not to go on her leg. And I'm thinking it'd be nice on the flower on her hair as well. And as I said, I think I'll do the headband and a little bit on the flower. What the heck? Kind of prefer the flower to the headband, actually. There we go. And then I want to put some on these flowers, just to listen them up a bit. Okay, perfect. And I think that looks gorgeous. Really pleased with that. Doesn't that look pretty? The sparkle. Okay, so that's our image coloured. So we're going to let that stickles dry, and then we'll put this together into a card. Okay, so what I've done is I've picked out some hunky-dory cardstock, and I've got these gorgeous colours here. Now I don't know if I'm definitely going to be using the sparkly one, but it's so pretty. And it does go, so I may use it, we'll see. But I'm definitely going to be using these ones. Now I'm going to make my card using these two.
And my easy peasy card method.
Okay, so there's that card done and finished. So you've just got that on the back, which holds that in place. And then you've got an 8x8 card, or whatever size. And you wouldn't even know that that's been stuck, apart from that bit of glue. Because it just looks like a regular card. Okay, so that's now completed. So we've put that card to one side. So the next thing I want to do is cut my image out, which now it's all dried off as well. I've left that overnight just because it was late when I finished, and it's looking really nice now. It's dry, the sparkle's really, really pretty. So I looked at several of my dies and was thinking about which one to use, but then I came back to, I just thought something, it's such a nice image, I wanted something really clean around it. So I picked up these Matting Basics A and B. Now obviously with these shapes you can easily cut these yourself by hand and just use a corner chomper. So I'm going to take, I think the bigger one is B. Let's take both of them out anyway and see, because I'm going to use it. I'm going to use one of them. If you use both sets, they go up in 1/8 of an inch, and so I can use the opposite number in each one. So if I take the biggest die in each one, I can then create a mat, which will be absolutely perfect. So if you're always a little bit worried about doing matting and layering, these are a great set. And you can get them without the curved corners as well, so you can get other styles. I think you can even get them in circles and all sorts. So this one was Matting Basics B, so that's the smaller of the two big dies, as it were. So we're going to pop that down, die side down, get my tape, and just pop it into place. So I just want to work out where I want it, probably around there, maybe a little bit lower so it's more central, about there I think. Yeah, that'll do nicely, I think. Yep, so we're sticking it in place because we want it in a very precise place. So then we're going to get our mats. So I've got my cutting mat, my base plate to start with. So base plate, die cut side up, and then our cutting mat. So you can make it up the other way, that's absolutely fine. And then, oh, this little fella, and just run it through. Okay, so making sure the base plate is down, we take our top plate off. Oops. And then I'm going to put my tan mat and my pink embossing plate, and we'll run that one through now. There we go. And then we can just peel that off our die. We don't need to worry about peeling it off the paper at the edge there, because that's the waste. And then just lift that out, and then there is that all beautifully done. And I love the embossing on that. I think it gives it a really nice finish to it. And then if we then cut out, I think I know I'm going to go for the blue, so let's cut that out now quickly and take our tape off. Now this time I am going to take all the tape off, because I know that with the hunky dory that the scraps will want to be used because it's beautiful. Now I found before as well that the hunky dory really comes up nice, and there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? And then that should, if I picked up the right dies, yep, look, perfect mat. That's just going to look lovely, isn't it? So let's just stick that straight down now. Pop that down like so, and I think that looks absolutely gorgeous on the blue. I think that really draws it together. Okay, so now we need to pick our paper. So I've got this gorgeous pad by K&Co, and it's the watercolour bouquet border. So let's put these two to one side a minute, and then let's stick this piece down first. So getting my tape pen, I'm just going to run around all these edges, a good press. Making sure it's well stuck down, and then we're just going to cut that excess off. Perfect, looks really pretty. Okay, so then we want the big piece, and I need to make sure that's the right way up, so that's that way up, and I want to put that on there. So this card is 8 by 8 because we measured it. So let's cut this at 7 3/4 square. Okay, so just making sure that's the right way around, the card opening, I mean, and that's going to go down on there. Okay, pop that down. So I think that looks really pretty with that there. Okay, so the next thing we want is to create our border across here. Okay, so that fits. And now put our card to one side, get our punchy laced edges, and then they can be stuck down on each side and then cut to size. Now I've done it too long so that I can measure it to start exactly like there. It starts at the dot and finishes at that dot, and we can then do the same on the top as well, so it's nice and even. And how pretty is that? I think that's so lovely. Really nice. Pleased I thought to use the blue there. So then we're going to take the twine and we're going to wrap it around a couple of times. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back here because I think that will help just keep it in place. And stick that down like that, and then wrap it around the front, and then around again at the back, making sure it sticks to the adhesive, and then enough to come around to the front and cut. Okay, so I've got this lovely little blue button which I think is a perfect match. So what I thought I'd try, and it may or may not work, is I thought I'd pop my ends through the buttons. Okay, so we've popped those through, and we're just going to pull that tight so it's nicely tight, and then I'm going to knot over the top of my button. And then I'm going to bow it. Right, and then in a minute when we stick this onto our page, I will put some glue gel under there because I can make use of that. So then we need our card. So we're not going for thickness here, we're just going to, because it's got the string on and it's got the button on, it's a bit more heavy, so, and also it just gives a little bit of movement. So we pop that on, and then we're going to use that on our button as well. So I want that about here, I would say. Okay, so I'm definitely putting a little bit of height on this one, so put the bobs on a little bit more high. Now I want her kind of close to my button and at an angle. We've stuck that down, so now I want to put a bit of glue gel underneath my button, and then I'm going to put, whoops, I don't want to blob it, and then I'm going to put I can't think what I'm trying to say, some hat pins, some pins in place. I'm just trying to move that over just a little bit. Like that. And then the other one like so. I think that looks really pretty. I like that. Okay, so now let's sort out, I want to put just a few flowers, just some paper flowers down there. Okay, so I've laid out what I want, and I've actually added an extra flower down here, so I'm actually just going to start popping these in place. But before I do this lot, I do want to add some pearl swirls there. So we're just going to add a nice little blob of glue gel, and I'll do it I think on the back of the flower itself just to be sure, and then pop that down in place just down here, and then again a little bit of glue gel, probably a bit much, just on the back of our button here. And I've got this gorgeous sparkly button which really I think is in keeping with the colour of our moped, so I think that works really well. Okay, so I've put the pearl swirls in that corner and just along here because they can be a bit fiddly. Also I broke them up a little bit so that I could put them in the position I wanted. So now I'm going to put my flowers on down here, kind of like so. So let's pop this one down first, and then one. I think that looks really pretty. And now I just want to put my buttons down in this corner. Oh, before I do those three, actually, I had a heart button and I put some twine through it, and I'm going to just put it up in this corner of the image. I just thought that would look really nice. So we're just going to pop that up like that. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do, I think, on the front is just put these little buttons on. So I'm just going to put a bob of glue gel down, or 3 bobs actually, like so. And then I've got a little green one and 2 little blue ones. And I'm deliberately not doing the holes in the same direction because I think that just looks a little bit better. And I think that's everything on the front now. So the only thing I've got now is I've got this sentiment. It was 3 layers and you just put them together, and that was from Hunky Dory. So I'm just going to pop that on the inside. So just very carefully lifting that up, and I love that when you go in it's got the green. I think that looks so nice. And then we're just going to pop that in, and I think what's nice is that because it's square and it's quite big, it makes a bit of a statement. I think that looks really effective. So that's the inside of our card, and that's the outside. Okay, so that's our card finished for today. I hope you've enjoyed making this with me. I've really enjoyed making it. I love the image. I hope you like it as much as I do. And I'd love to hear your comments. And thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye.
Make sure you check out the blog post that goes with this video for lots more photographs, information, links, etc. etc. Enjoy!